There's like 9 big political issues that are tied up in this graph, and it's really f***ing annoying because I learned about it in high school, and it's a real stain that most public education doesn't even mention it. This is a graph of what's called the demographic transition model, and it shows a society's birth rates and death rates in several stages. It is tightly correlated with the population pyramid of a given country, basically a graph showing the population of each age group. Young at the bottom, old at the top. The middle is the prime working and baby-making years. In traditional farming societies, people have a lot of babies, but a lot of them die. Birth rates and death rates are both high, so population stays stable. People need to have a lot of kids because that's their farm labor. This is what the demographic pyramid looks like then, a pyramid. But in the past few centuries, humankind did an oopsie and industrialized, making huge advancements in food production and public health. So child mortality went down and people's standards of living and lifespan increased. But people were still having tons of babies because that was the normal thing to do. Societal adaptations lag behind the effects of technological advancement, but these big baby broods survived better, so you have a massive upshoot in a country's population. Society eventually catches up when people start living better lives. Women are free to work, people spend more time on education, more people move to cities, contraception usage increases, and having a kid becomes more expensive because of education and medical stuff. So they settle on having 2 or 3 kids with the expectation that they'll live full lives. So the birth rates drop to a rough parity with the death rate, and then it stabilizes where population grows a lot slower. This is what the population pyramid looks like then. The USA is currently in this stage. Now there's a last stage of this that we're not too sure about. In countries like China, Korea, Japan, Germany, and Greece, we see people having fewer kids than necessary to keep a steady population. A lot of this can be attributed to economics, where the price of living is too high and people have to spend too much time earning not enough money. People in baby-making age groups simply cannot afford a decent lifestyle, so it doesn't make sense to add a kid on top of that. Or, when a country is politically or economically unstable, people stop having kids and move to other countries, which makes population decline worse. The big problem is that the people born in the massive upshoot are still around, and now they're old and can't work. The younger generations need to do the work to support the huge population of elderly people, which puts even more financial strain on them and keeps them from having kids, buying houses, and all the other stuff that society and the economy expects them to do. This is one of the major factors contributing to China and Japan's current economic troubles. You don't want a big bulge of old people sitting above the working ages. In response, a country can raise the retirement age like France tried to do before it got protested down, add tax incentives for having children like Japan's doing, cut medical support for elderly people, which would be insane, and most of all, they can bring in more immigrants like Canada did, and the corporations love that because they can pay them pennies for hard labor. This guy thinks this issue is going to collapse China and attributes Putin's invasion of Ukraine to this population issue, because look at how f***ed up Russia's population pyramid is from World War II and the collapse of the Soviet Union. But I don't know, his theory sounds sensational and dumb. Anyways, next time some dumb Tucker Carlson viewer brings up some stupid shit like white genocide and immigration, if they don't know about this graph, either they watch this video or their opinion doesn't matter.